Liverpool is an overnight port, and this is the view of the Liver building this morning. This morning I'm going to the Beatles' childhood homes. But first I have to get there. It is a 10-minute walk from the cruise terminal to Moorfields Station. After 10 minutes I have made it to Moorfields Station. Right, Moorfields, I've got to get to Liverpool Safe Parkway, so let's go onto the platform. I then make the 21-minute journey by rail to Liverpool South Parkway Station. Here I have made it to Liverpool South Parkway Station. I then get picked up by a minibus from the station, where I get taken to the Beatles' childhood homes. This is the first home, 251 Menlove Avenue, known as the Mendips after the Mendip Hills. It is John Lennon childhood home and is a Grade 2 listed building which is preserved by the National Trust. This 1933 built semi-detached property belonged to John Lennon's aunt Mimi and her husband George Smith. In 1965, Mimi sold the property, taking away some of the furnishings and giving away others. John Lennon's widow bought the house in March 2002 and donated to the National Trust in order to save it from further demolition and property spectators. Unfortunately, due to National Trust policy, I was not able to take any photos or recordings inside the house. The second home was Paul McCartney's childhood home, 20 Forthlin Road. The house was built in 1949 and owned by the local authority, and the McCartney family moved into it in 1955 when Paul was at secondary school. The house has been in the ownership of the National Trust since 1995. Again, I wasn't able to take any photos or recording inside this house due to National Trust policy. After a visit to the Beatles' childhood homes, I made my way back to Liverpool South Parkway Station. I've made it back to Moorfields Station, where I start making my way back to the cruise terminal. Right, here in Liverpool we've got this interpretation board, which you can see one behind me, and they basically tell you about the history of a place, the history of the area the interpretation boards are in. So this one behind me is about St Nicholas Church, which is this building. You can also see it behind me, but just so you know what are on the interpretation boards, I'm just going to give you a preview of this one. Here is the first of 2 interpretation boards I have captured. On the way back to the cruise terminal, there is a statue of the Fab Four. Unfortunately, it was quite a popular statue, so unfortunately, this is the best shot I could get. This memorial was commissioned following the tragic sinking of RMS Titanic on the 15th of April 1912. It was conceived in dedication to the 244 engine room staff who had lost their lives when the Titanic sank in the Atlantic following the collision with an iceberg. Then it is back to Aurora before Aurora sets sail to our next port. Then Aurora sets sail for our next port of call, and here's one last look of Liverpool. It was to the Curzon's Theatre for tonight's entertainment, which was Joan Forrest, a classical vocalist. And the theme for the show was Curtains Up, A Night at the Theatre.